Hi Hale and Penzance Life and Life. It's really nice to see you again. I'm Esther and I'm from the Free Methodist Churches up in the Northwest, and I wanted to just bring you a little thought today, and it's around different parts really from the book of Mark, and I wanted to start it by sharing with you an embarrassing story that involves me and it involves you as well, because almost 2 years ago I was coming down to Hale for the first time, and I had to take an internal flight from Manchester down to Newquay. So I'd never done that before, never done just an internal flight. It's always been going abroad or something like that. And so I checked everything out, like what time I needed to be there versus what time the flight went, time for check-in, all that kind of thing. Sorted the kids out, got myself on a train, got to Manchester, made my way across the busy airport, got to the right place. And then when I got there, I could see there was one area that was the desk for check-in, and there was another area where you actually went in to go to your flight. So I stood there with my piece of paper printed off and thought, I'm not actually sure. Am I officially checked in? Am I not? I don't know. So I showed it to somebody who was there and said, which way do I go? And he said, oh yeah, just go down there. You can complete the process down there. I thought, brilliant. So I'm heading towards the area, the gate, the kind of all the stuff you've got to go through to check in. And then I see all these signs everywhere about the kind of things that you're allowed to have in your bag. And suddenly I realised, because I'm not checking luggage into the hold like I would normally be if I was going somewhere else, it was only stuff I was carrying in my hand. And I really hadn't thought about the whole regulations, with the liquids and the powders and all that kind of thing. So I then had to stop before I got to that bit and make use of, they've got little plastic bags everywhere, little containers, signs. So I had to go through all my stuff and work out what I needed, what I didn't for the thing to take me through. So I did all that, took me ages to sort it out, went through to try and go into the next level of what I was supposed to be doing. And the guy looks at my paperwork and he says, no, you need to be at the check-in desk. You've not actually registered the fact that you're here. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, wow, I didn't realise I had to do that. So then I go back to the check-in desk, and of course there's a line of people and there's only one member of staff on at the desk. So I'm stood in the line feeling really anxious, waiting to get in there. When I eventually get to the front of the line and it's my turn and I hand in my paperwork, she starts putting it in, and then she looks at me and she says, I'm really sorry, Mrs. Scholes, but you've missed check-in time. It closed about 4 minutes ago. And I'm just like, no, but I was here the whole time, and I asked somebody and he said to go that way and not this way, and I've been in the line and I've already sorted out all my stuff. I've still got time to go through. She said, I'm really sorry, but that's it. There's no time to do that. So this was then cue me getting like really, really anxious, really upset, messaging Bob and saying, I'm so sorry, I've missed getting on my flight. I just went the wrong way. I faffed around in the wrong place. Bob, of course, was amazing and understanding, because that's the kind of guy that he is. And within a few minutes, we'd sorted it out. I'd got a ticket later on to Exeter, so poor Bob had to do lots of extra driving, and I got there several hours late, but I was still able to get there on the Friday night to be with you on the Saturday morning and do all the things that we had planned for the weekend, the different sessions and things like that. So why am I bringing this to you, and what's that got to do with the book of Mark? Well, when Mark tells his story about Jesus walking on this earth, there are so many people who get fascinated by Jesus, and they keep coming to him and they want to find out more about what he's saying. But they also want to find out, is what Jesus is saying in line with what I believe and where I'm at and what I want to think? And we see in chapter 12, we have different religious people, and they come to Jesus and they say, okay, what about tax? Should we be paying tax or should we not? Should we be governed by the Romans or should we not? Someone else comes and says, what about marriage in heaven? What if somebody's been married to somebody and then they get married to somebody else after that person dies, and then that happens again? Who would that person be married to in heaven? And all these complex questions. And then there's another religious man, and he comes to Jesus and he asks him, what is the most important commandment? And they have this conversation, and it's all about loving the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul and your strength and your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself. This is in Mark 12, verses 29 to 31. And in that moment, it's like Jesus is stopping and he's clarifying and he's making it crystal clear. He's saying, there's all this other stuff in your life that you can be doing, stuff that does need sorting out, the things that you need to know. Am I taking this with me? Am I not? What can I reduce? What can I let go of? How can I organize my stuff to best get me to where I'm going in life? Yes, this is important to think about, but there's one most important thing that you need to do before anything else, and that is check in. What do we mean by check in? We mean be present, show up. And we do this with God when we take the time to set aside with him and we say, God, no matter what you've got for me, no matter how beneficial I feel it might be or not be to myself, I want to check in with you. I want to be present. And for the people around me, before I get to what we need to do, what we need to organise, what we need to think about, I'm going to check in. I'm going to look people in the eye and make sure that they know that they're loved and appreciated and connected with before I sort out all the other things. So that's my message to you today, is before you do all the other stuff that you think you ought to do, make sure that you check in, be present and turn up where you need to be.